Welcome, this is Terry Ewell. Weissenborn study number 34 is another perpetuum mobile study that tests the student's finger technique. However, one of the most difficult parts for students is holding the half note for full value and counting out the half note rest. Subdivisions of eighth notes will help to keep the tempo steady. I have mentioned techniques for practicing rapid notes in earlier studies. Please refer to the videos on studies 11, 14, 16, and 27. Sprints in particular will help you to develop rapid, even, and smooth fingerings. In line 4, I do not use an alternate fingering for E4. This is not too fast to use the regular fingerings for D4 to E4. I do, however, use the fast or short C#4 fingering here and throughout most of the study. In line 7, I make use of the fast D#3 fingering to simplify this passage. One last alternate fingering that is very helpful for this study is found in the second to last line, line 11. I start with my normal F# fingering, move to this alternate E#4 fingering, and then proceed with the passage as normal.
Let me conclude this pedagogy portion of the video with a brief overview of the resources I have provided on toread.net. This is a website I maintain for you. It mostly contains my materials, but there are a few contributions from my other colleagues. In addition, there are links to many other resources available on the internet. This is the top of the home page for toread.net. Important links for you are on the left and top of the page. There is information on auditions, careers, life and health, performance, practicing, read-making, and teaching. The Awesome Things link provides many free materials. At the top are links to free music and ringtones I created, and a few music quizzes I've used in my courses at Towson University. Here are the links to drones and fingerings. There are also materials on the site for Korean and Chinese speakers. The area of the site that might interest you the most is the Bassoon Digital Professor. You can access this site directly from this address, www.toread.net/bdp. Here is the top of the home page for the Bassoon Digital Professor. It contains the links we observed on the other page. However, below the title, you will see links to listings of the BDP videos in order. Here, for instance, is a portion of the listing in the first 100 videos. You will find there a summary of the videos, a YouTube link if the video is posted there, and a link to the videos and materials on my website. Let's return to the Bassoon Digital Professor main page. Further down the page, I have provided a recommended sequence of study and also a topical listing of the videos. This will help you to further find materials that interest you at the time. You may be watching this video on YouTube. toread.net, however, provides many additional materials not available on YouTube. For instance, on toread.net, each video is provided in multiple formats for ease of viewing and saving on your devices. I have provided transcripts with many of my videos, which may be helpful for further study or translation into other languages. There are also links to other study materials. I'm sorry that toread.net is only periodically updated. I wish I had more time to spend on it, but I have prioritized other items, such as producing the Weissenborn videos, more highly. You will notice that most of my materials are presented free of charge. Since I consider this a ministry, I don't receive payment from advertisements on the website or with my videos. I hope that you will find this resource helpful as you continue to grow as a musician and person.
One of the goals I have as a performer is to gain the skills that will allow for greater expression in music. I think this is a bit similar to being a painter. Painters want access to as many colors as possible. Being limited to just one or two colors would stifle creativity. Similarly, I want as many expressive tools as possible to choose from when I perform. Then I can choose the right color for the moment. Embouchure placement plays an important role in tone color on the bassoon. Let me draw out a few ideas from an article I wrote called Double Reed Embouchures, which is published in Celebrating Double Reeds, a Festschrift for William Waterhouse and Philip Bate. Here is an example of a typical embouchure on bassoon. Notice that the lips cushion the reed over the teeth. The teeth don't contact the reed at all. I mentioned in the video on Weissenborn 26 that the parallel embouchure helps with downward slurs and rapid shifts between registers on the bassoon. There are, however, multiple parallel embouchures that are possible on the double reed. The further the reed extends into the mouth, the more reed blade surface vibrates. More vibrating area means more sound. In addition, changes in the amount of the reed blade vibrating will change the timbre or sound quality. Lots of reed in the mouth, such as in 1A, provides a more raucous, nasal, or vibrant sound. Less reed in the mouth, such as 1C, will yield a dampened and darker sound. Since 1A gives a large opening on the reed, more air is needed to support the sound. Also, the intonation will change with these embouchures. Embouchure 1A tends to give a sharper pitch when supported with air than 1C. Pulling the reed out of the mouth lengthens the bore of the instrument, resulting in slightly lower pitch. The normal bassoon embouchure is slightly offset since the lower teeth are behind the upper teeth. The amount of reed in the mouth in the offset embouchure also determines the sound quality and, to some extent, the pitch. I talk further about embouchure placement in my video on Osborne's Rhapsody, Part 1, BDP number 104. God willing, I will discuss embouchure placement further in my future video on Weissenborn study number 50.